Hi, you guys. Good morning. I was looking around on the internet and it's very difficult to find something in support of what Trump is doing. I did find I found this person. I don't know who he is, Dr. Taylor Marshall. And he talks in 4 steps of how Trump could still win. He also suggested that we not right now watch the mainstream media because people are upset. But when you look at the mainstream media, it's still claiming that anything that he said is like they're claiming that the right wing that supports Trump or believes in that thing that I can't say on here. I can't say it. They're basically saying that this is all just propaganda too. Well, we think the other thing is propaganda, and they say this is propaganda and keep saying it's baseless what they're saying. But remember when I told you about my sister's book called Deciding What's News? They decide what is news. They decide how to spin it. And if they wear us out, then, we can't watch the magic happen. Okay, so the magic, according to Dr. Taylor, is you first go after Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania, while the counting was going on, Pennsylvania, the vote was stopped. And according to Dr. Taylor, when the voting was stopped in the states where Trump was easily going to win, they infused those states after stopping the counting with more Biden votes. And so that's his contention. I know something happened. I don't know exactly what, but he's saying that first they're going to go after the Supreme Court. I think they're taking it to the Supreme Court about the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania overturning state law to allow them to continue to vote, to continue to count in a state that it was clear that Trump was going to win. Okay, and then we've got these other states. So you first start with Pennsylvania. If you get Pennsylvania, then, Biden goes down to 270. Right now, they're claiming he's at 290. He goes down to 270, and then you go after the other states, which I think Nevada is one of the states, and then Georgia and North Carolina. So, for anyone who thinks that Donald Trump won, I still agree that Donald Trump looked like he was winning. But it's very hard to find information in support of that. So what you could do is you could look at President Trump has a Twitter, a YouTube. You might be under Donald Trump. It's not Junior, this is his YouTube channel. And he's putting up some interesting things. I like this guy. Let me show you him. This person, not him, but
their Russia conspiracy, who tried to derail a presidency.
This person, if you can find him on the internet, is, I mean, he's with Fox News, but he's talking about, you know, what they're doing. They're crushing our hopes and dreams, right? And you can't look at mainstream media and decide that that's, you know, an unbiased position. I mean, they have special interest groups behind them and have been hurting the American people for a long time, because our government gives them the right to do it. And then we get Trump in there who's trying to stop things. And we get an election that just looks very fraudulent to me.
Senator Ted Cruz sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee. He was part of President George W. Bush's 2000 Florida recount team. And Senator, it's always an honor to have you on this program. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Maria. It's good to be with you.
So we got Ted Cruz. You know, I watched this last night. I gotta say, whatever you say about Ted Cruz, if you look at his backdrop of stuff he's got, his paintings and, you know, things back here, it's a very nice set. It's very nice. It's elegant and stately. Some of these people, when they come on, I feel like they don't have the appropriate backdrop for somebody in government, but Ted Cruz definitely does. So
first, assess where we are. You heard this weekend what we saw in terms of President-elect and Vice President-elect from the media. What do you believe is the status of this race?
Well, I think that is way premature. At this point, we do not know who has prevailed in the election. The media is desperately trying to get everyone to coronate.
I'm just going to stop. Look at this. I mean, he's got some nice art back here, right? And they're saying, you know, we don't know who won. Now, remember back in Al Gore times, right? He was president for 32 days, right? Oh, it's 36 days. Okay, he was president for 36 days. So they were certain that he won, and it just wasn't true. And George Bush became our president. But there were 36 days where he was president. So you guys just have to remember what's going on.
It's just a short walk across the front lawn, past the West Wing, to the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, where Vice President Al Gore will address the nation. He will be addressing the country from Austin, Texas.
Good evening. Just moments ago, I spoke with George W. Bush and congratulated him on becoming the 43rd President of the United States. And I promised him that I wouldn't call him back this time. I offered to meet with him as soon as possible so that we can start to heal the divisions of the campaign and the contest through which we've just passed. Almost a century and a half ago, Senator Stephen Douglas told Abraham Lincoln, who had just defeated him for the presidency, "Partisan feeling must yield to patriotism." I'm with you, Mr. President, and God bless you. Well, in that same spirit, I say to President-elect Bush that what remains of partisan rancor must now be put aside, and may God bless his stewardship of this country. Neither he nor I anticipated this long and difficult road. Certainly neither of us wanted it to happen. Yet it came, and now it has ended.
Okay, well, it's a concession speech. Basically, he was the president, and there were some other things going on with the voting that seems to be going on again. Now, why in the world would the voting that occurred, why would the glitch, which, that gentleman I was watching is really calling cheating, why would the glitch only favor Biden every time? It only favored Biden. It was never a glitch towards Donald Trump. Only a glitch towards Biden. So for 36 days, Al Gore was the president. And then they recounted in the places where there was obvious fraud. Call it a glitch, call it whatever you want. You only call it a glitch to keep yourself out of jail. I mean, you're tampering with a federal right. So I believe that the American people voted for Donald Trump. And I believe there's a lot that went on in California, and they just gave it to Biden without even counting anything. But these are things that it's hard to find real facts on the internet, because it's just a bunch of people speaking about. So the U.S. Supreme Court decided the presidential election. And if that's what's going to go on this time, I mean, that's what we have to wait for. Okay, so Giuliani is also speaking here. I'm watching something with Dinesh D'Souza. If you guys know who he is, he's an advocate for Donald Trump, and he's basically, Giuliani here is saying that none of the Republican observers were allowed to look at the ballots. I mean, he's not sure why. He said that they could be from Mars.
At any one of these mail ballots, they could be from Mars as far as we're concerned. I've never heard of a count where you're ahead by 400,000 with 80+% counted, and they haven't called it for you yet. They called California the moment the polls closed.
Now,
So it's close, but there are people out there that still believe that President Trump can win. And I hope he does. I really do.